This is the Fantasy Football Unlimited podcast with your host, Kevin Murray.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Unlimited podcast. On this show, we got a special guest. Back to the podcast. It's the one, the only, the Scott Fish. It's Scott Fish. Scott Fish is on the show. So we're excited. We're going to talk about stacked and kind of break down the end of the season here. So how are you doing, Scott?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, Kevin. It feels like it's been a while, but I love every time I get to come on your show.
Every time I get to see you, talk to you, it's a pleasure. So looking forward to doing more of that in 2026, but it's 2025. We're closing it out. Obviously with this stacked league, it's been a ton of fun watching some of these industry titans battle. It's been good. So before we get into that, how's everything going with you? How's SFB going? I know the playoffs are roaring, and how's everything at Fantasy Cares?
Oh, everything's going well. This is the time of year where we are out and shopping for toys in 20 different cities, 20 plus different cities, spending anywhere from 1,000 to 20,000. I think one of the cities when it was over 15,000, like 18,000 was in Minnesota. So just going out buying tons of toys. We're a national partner with Toys for Tots, and buying toys with the Marines, sending them off to, places that desperately need them. Charities are down huge this year, so it's really good to be able to, kind of help support Toys for Tots on a down year, especially.
Yeah, and this obviously is that time of year, right? A lot of presents out there that need to be delivered, and you guys just do such an amazing job. It's so fun to see the footage, to see the clips, to see the the shopping trips. It's one of the greatest things in the fantasy industry, in this community. You obviously represent this community so well, and all that you've done with Fantasy Cares. When it comes to just the leagues and the SFB experience, how many cities did we hit this year?
The SFB live events was, I think, 33 different cities, 6 different countries. It might be about the same next year, maybe looking to do a few more. I'm not sure, but that's the part of what we do that's just getting bigger and bigger, because it is really just a giant community, and it's good to have that community be in the same location and get to know each other in person, face to face.
I love it. Obviously, you've done so much to bring charity to this fantasy industry. You're kind of the face of that, which, I think a lot of people do a lot of great things, but you, Scott Fish, have done so much to bring charity into fantasy football. What is that about? Like, where's that passion come from?
Yeah, it's just incredible what's becoming with the fantasy industry and charity. I remember a time where, like, it just really didn't exist. I'm sure people obviously, had leagues where maybe they did that or whatnot, but it just wasn't a thing in the industry. And I even remember going on every single show and tagging at the end, give one entry fee to charity. You're not going to miss it. 100,000 leagues. We can do a lot of good, that spiel or whatever. And I remember one host once was like, giving to charity is nice and all, but I mean, we want more money for the pot. And I was like, I looked at him funny. I'm like, I don't know, man. And now it's just universally considered a good idea. It's wonderful where we've come. I'm very happy this is actually a thing now.
Well, certainly a thing. Obviously, it's a thing with this stacked league. It's all about charity, right? You got $10,000 going to charity. You got $5,000 going to Fantasy Cares. You got $5,000 going to the charity of choice for the winner. We are down to the final 4 members, which we'll get into that in a second. But what made you want to be a part of this stacked league? You are the official commissioner of this league.
I mean, that's a big part of it. The charity aspect. I will say, as I've gotten older, as time has drawn shorter for me, not life-wise, hopefully, but like the amount of time I have to spend on things, the things I spend my time on need to be important, right? And I want most of the things I work with to have purpose, and this has purpose. It has, charity for one of the eventual winners. It's got charity donation to Fantasy Cares, but bigger than that, I think every single person involved in this league either doing content about it, or behind the scenes of it, or the people playing in it, are all of them are really awesome people. There's a lot of awesome people, and that's another thing as you get older you want to be a part of is something where a lot of awesome people, you get to be a part of something with awesome people.
Well, there's some great people in here, people really well. It's fun, from my perspective, watching these people to compete. It's been great. What's been the most fun for you, observing this league from the outside?
I think one of the bigger things has been the activity, because I've been in a lot of expert analyst whatever leagues over my 20 years in this industry, and some of those are just straight up dead because we're in so many leagues and we're just we're going through the motions on some of them. This one, there's a lot of activity. The waivers run early every week, and there is always bunches of waiver bids. There's trade activity, there's chatter, there's content surrounding it. Like, the activity level is the thing that I think I've noticed most about this league, and it's incredible, especially for an analyst league where so many of them could just be like could just have it be a league on the side. It feels like one of their main leagues, which is
for sure. I think that Jeremy did a lot to put eyes on the league, which is got people going.
Absolutely.
Obviously, the motivation, the charity, the competition, the people in the league are all again just really well connected, and it's just fun. I agree. Just the activity has definitely surprised me. It's funny because you got the bottom of the standings just battling to survive, to get out of last place. You got the middle of the standings just trying to get in. But there's been 4 people at the top of this league the entire season, right?
Yep.
You got Sigmund Bloom, who took the number 1 seed, Dave Richard, who was number 1 seed all season long.
Yep.
Kendall Valenzuela has been in it from day one. And Chris Harris has been there fighting the whole time. So these 4 teams, all with 9 to 11 wins, have kind of led the whole way. And sure enough, it's not always seen in a fantasy league where the top 4 teams actually make it to the top 4, which is it's kind of fun as well. So they all deserve it. Everybody in this league has fought and battled. But we're into the final 4. Andy Behrens was favored to beat Kendall. He was going to rematch Dave Richard, who they've already faced twice this year. It would have been a ton of drama, but Kendall deserved that spot. I mean, Kendall, again, has been, dominant this season. Chris Harris, Ben Gretsch, just a bloodbath, right? They're just fighting to survive. And Ben Gretsch gets taken. Chris Harris moves on. So it's Chris Harris versus Sigmund Bloom. Yep. It's Dave Richard versus Kendall Valenzuela. Phenomenal 4 matchups. What do you think about these managers, just in particular?
Yeah, I mean, all of them are awesome managers. I've played with most, if not all, of the people in this league at various points in my life, so I know that they're all very, very good. I will say one thing I noticed on the teams that made the playoffs. 5 of them were within 50 points of each other on the season or so.
Insane.
Which is just they're all matched up pretty well. They're all they're all scoring a very similar amount of points, which leads to some playoff drama. Dave Richard a little bit ahead of everybody in the points scored department. But no, what I see going forward late in the season, Dave was scoring right along with the other teams. I just see a lot of close games, a lot of games that are going to be tough to predict in the final 2 weeks here.
Yeah, no, it's funny looking at their rosters. I mean, they are all beaten. Like there's a lot of injuries, a lot of obstacles facing all of these managers. And one other thing that they are battling for, which was amazing to see, I don't know if you saw that gold-plated,
it's
supersized, green gridiron helmet. I mean, that's pretty nice.
That is a good-looking helmet. That's a sweet prize to sit in the background of any of those analysts on their when they do their appearances on shows. That'll be very fun.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's a great combination. Again, competition, charity, and definitely some glory. There's no doubt that the person who wins this is gonna lord over the others for quite some time. And again, hopefully this whole thing gets run back. I mean, I love what they've created with this. It's been a ton of fun. But looking at these final 4 matchups, again, you got Sigmund Bloom versus Chris Harris, right? You got Sig. He's got Matthew Stafford, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor. It looks like right now he's got, Jameson Williams, which has been on fire. You got Kelsey in there. What happens, post Mahomes? We'll see. Kenneth Walker's, in his flex. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on with the Seahawks run game. But this is a lineup. He's got Dak to consider with Stafford. Yep. I think Stafford against the Seahawks on Thursday night is going to be that's a tough one, right? Yep. Obviously they lost Devontae Adams, but this roster is, it's been solid all season long. And then you look at Chris Harris, you got Jordan Love, you got McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs, Zay Flowers, you got Terry McLaurin in there, Devonta Smith. It's a solid team as well, a little Green Bay dependent.
Yeah, I was going to say it's also a little light on the depth. Compared to
this time of year. I mean, if you got enough to start the roster, that's what you want. But obviously, the SIG is the favorite here. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if he goes Dak or if he goes Stafford. Yep. What do you think, or who do you think is going to advance between these two?
I would lean SIG. On this one. It'll be interesting if Bam Knight is out, Michael Carter maybe jumps into this lineup here for Harris. But I would lean SIG. I trust in so many more of these players. I love that Jonathan Taylor versus the 49ers matchup. Wouldn't even shock me if that's another 3-touchdown game there. There are some tough ones. It's going to be interesting with Stafford and Dak. You're absolutely right on that one. I think I'd lean SIG only slightly here though.
Yeah, I'll lean SIG too. I mean, again, his 11-3 season, he was kind of right behind Dave Richard the entire season, then overtook him the last couple of weeks. Very impressive roster. One of the favorites to start the season. I know they had Matthew Berry on to look at the rosters at the beginning of the year. He picked Dave Richard. He also named Sigmund Bloom. He named Kendall. So it's not surprising SIG's here, and he certainly deserves it.
I will note Harris made a strong push this morning. He had the most waiver money by far. Like he could outbid anyone. And he got Colby Parkinson for the Rams with Devontae Adams out. We saw Colby score 2 times last week. So Colby Parkinson will replace Mark Andrews in that lineup. And he picked up Michael Carter in case Bam Knight is, officially out. Trey Benson, we know, is out. Michael Carter he might have really upgraded his tight end and flex spots right before this matchup. So that's a feather in Harris's cap.
For sure. Do not underestimate Chris Harris, for sure. The other matchup, obviously, you got the Titan Dave Richard. I mean, he's just been loaded all season. He's got Jared Goff. He lost Patrick Mahomes. Devon Achane, James Cook have just been an incredible pair for him all season long. Amon-Ra St. Brown dominating. DK, got in the mix last night with some points. He's got Isaiah Likely. Rico Dowdle was one of the biggest moves of the season. Picking him up. He's got the Denver defense. So he's just rock solid. Ricky Pearsall, could get in there. Devontae Adams, he lost. But just solid from top to bottom. And then obviously Kendall has been, again, in the mix all season long. He's got Bo Nix at quarterback. He's been facing Jacksonville. You got Javonte Williams, Quinshon Judkins, 2 great steals at the draft for Kendall. And he's got Puka. She got Puka. It's gonna be an interesting Thursday night for sure.
Yeah.
Then a couple Jadens. You got Jaden Higgins, Jaden Reed. We'll see if they make the lineup. RJ Harvey's in the mix. He's a little bit on the rise. So it's a solid squad. Unfortunately, T. Higgins injuries, Drake London out. These have been some issues for her just kind of surviving.
Yeah, they're making it and they're surviving, but yeah, they are banged up. It looks like except for SIG's team, all 3 other teams are replacing 2 to 3 starters for this week alone in the semifinals here.
Yeah, it's a battle of attrition, and again, I love to see it. And the top 4 teams surviving, all the way through. It's been fun. If we get to the championship matchup, I'm not going to assume. Tell me who's going to win that Kendall Dave matchup.
So for me, I just for the way I like teams and for what's going on for me, it feels like Dave's got the best team. I feel like I feel like they're both, Dave's gonna have to replace Adams here. His tight end, I don't love the tight end situation for him either, but every other spot is a player that can go off or has gone off a lot in recent weeks. It just feels like Dave's got the slight advantage here, but you never know. Kendall, she's got her weekly waiver wire stuff she does. She is on top of this kind of thing. It wouldn't shock me if she finds some diamonds in the rough to help lift her and get her to the point where this is a really close one and she might take it.
Yeah,
but I would put my money on Dave.
Yeah, any one of these 4 teams can win, no doubt.
Yeah.
But you and I are on the same page. Dave Richards, Sigmund Bloom. It's just a natural matchup. 1-2 in the championship is what we're thinking. Who is going to win this whole thing? Because we're not going to see you until this thing's over. Who is going to win this thing? Who's taking it home?
I think it's still Dave Richard.
Okay.
I think it's still Dave Richard. It's I just like these pieces so much on this team. He will have to figure out a couple of the spots in the coming weeks, but it just feels the strongest from the 2 running backs to his flex and his couple wide receivers there. It's tough to beat.
Well constructed roster for sure.
Yeah.
And that's the name of the game. It's fantasy. You gotta plug these holes. You gotta fix these issues at this stage of the game. But it's gonna be fun to see. I can't wait to see what happens. Again, from the outside, it's been such a pleasure watching these people compete, seeing how it unfolds. Like you, I just love the activity. I love the excitement. Dave Richard, I got the chance to interview everybody in this league throughout the season. Dave Richard, he's loving this experience. Sig, Sig absolutely loving this experience. He's had so much fun, so much joy because of this league, because of the activity. So it's fun to see. It's fun to see all of them. I know, again, Kendall's been fighting from the beginning. Chris Harris been fighting from the beginning, just making it work. But everybody's enjoyed it so much. So it's been cool to see. And I love this Final Four. And I love the potential of this Final 2. And I can't wait to see what happens. How about you?
Same. I'm excited to pay attention to this week's matchups and see where we're going to go for the final, because really, as we've kind of mentioned, it's anyone's league at this point. They're just all so close, all dealing with similar stuff, and we'll see what happens this weekend.
That's so awesome. So how about for you? How are you wrapping up this 2025 season, and what are you excited most moving forward into 2026?
Just me personally?
Yeah, I mean, just
I don't know. Every year is very similar to me. I really enjoy the fantasy aspect, my job, my career, what I do. I love what's going on with Fantasy Cares. I'm excited for a lot of stuff we got coming. Going into next year, we already have a theme for SFB picked out. We got I'll travel to a ton of live events and have good stuff with that. But I think one of my favorite parts is right after the fantasy season is over. Not only we do a playoff league for Fantasy Cares. You can join that right now on fantasycares.org, or you can sign our 25 days of jersey giveaways on fantasycares.org right now. But I love when the season ends and my responsibilities kind of drop down a little, and I can watch playoff football and just kind of enjoy watching playoff football. It's a really fun time of year, especially when it's so cold in Minnesota. I can just stay inside and watch football.
It is a special treat. It's true. Every time the season ends, it's like, okay, now let's just enjoy the game. And playoff football rarely disappoints. So I love that for you. I'm excited for 2026. I know a lot of great things in store for you. How about some advice to close things out for incorporating charity into a fantasy league?
I said it earlier. If you're in a fantasy league, tell your league, hey, let's take one of these entry fees and donate it to charity. We're not going to miss it. Or even you can tie it to the winner. The winner gets to donate that entry fee to a charity of their choice. It's such an easy thing to do. And I mentioned before, charities have been down really big this year. It's a rough year out there. So every penny really helps.
And beyond that, what, like, for you, from your perspective, your opinion, how does that impact the fantasy league? The camaraderie, the coming together. How do you spin that?
It's everybody likes doing good things. I think we're all inherently good, right? Like, or most of us are inherently good. But it brings you together for something common. You can say there's a little bit of community to it, in that you're like, our league did this. Look, we're competitors. We're in this league. Maybe it's for money, maybe it's for bragging rights, but at the end of the day, we were also able to do good with it. And it's such a connecting tissue, being able to do good with a group of people, being part of something bigger than yourself.
I love it. Yeah, it's true. It's right there. I think that a fantasy football league that's doing things for good. It's what it's about. I think that we can make a big impact grouping together. One league at a time. So I love that, Scott. I love the chance to talk to you about this stacked league. Wish you all the best luck when it comes to the closing of this season and all your leagues. Hopefully you win a ton of championships and have a great time watching playoff football.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kevin. Thanks for having me on. Good luck to the remaining competitors in the Stack League.
Thank you for listening to the Fantasy Football Unlimited podcast. Until next time, be sure to follow and subscribe to all of FFU's social media accounts for daily content.